let me explain about the startup culture in Bangalore. Bangalore is the startup capital of India. And the reason it's the startup capital of India is because there are 1 million people who are working in the technology industry in Bangalore. And we've seen many youngsters leave big companies and senior people leave big companies and go on the startup journey. And the startup journey has become very rewarding. There's an ecosystem of venture capitalists, angels, and other funds here. There are lawyers here, there are accountants here, and there are other kinds of investors here. And the support system is very strong. And the economy of Bangalore also is very supportive because Bangalore's got a large tech group and they all want to use technology. They're also connected to the US. So you have the Bangalore Silicon Valley connection. In fact, I tell people that Bangalore has more affinity with the Silicon Valley than with Delhi. Delhi looks almost alien to people in Bangalore, so far away with all the politics. And because you have the Silicon Valley connection, it means that the back-end engineering for most startups in Silicon Valley is also here. And people from here have learned how to interact with startups in Silicon Valley for the marketing and the capital. So the fantastic ecosystem is coming up. I would reckon something like 800 to 1,000 startups happen every year in Bangalore, and that ecosystem is going to develop. Now, what could Bangalore do to develop the ecosystem? I think the most important thing Bangalore could do is to improve the quality of life, especially the traffic and the roads. Now, you could think that this being very silly, I mean, don't require any soft factors, but the fact is, a city which has a strong startup culture needs to have a good quality of life, especially when it comes to improving people's productivity. So when they have to go meet people, it takes too much time. So I think we have to do that. And second, we have to create more networking opportunities. So we got to have more events where people come together, people meet. For example, I went to a TechCrunch event, event just 2 weeks ago and spoke to about 200 people who are doing startups. And it was fascinating. So we need many more events so people come together. And the third, we need a greater integration with the education system. Now this is a slightly outside the education system. We don't have universities in Bangalore which are getting networked. For example, Indian Institute of Science has got to be much more active. The engineering colleges in Bangalore have to be much more active, and that will bring something. And the next thing we need is that the creative people in Bangalore, the people in the fashion industry, the people in the design industry, the people in architecture, the people who are in the arts, they have to come close together. Because today, B2C is what is creating great value. And for B2C, you need the creative aspect to be part of the C. And I think that's very important. So I think a few things need to be done, but I'm very encouraged in the culture. And by 2020, we estimate that Bangalore will be the largest IT hub in the world in terms of people and talent overtaking Silicon Valley.